Alright, we'll be back from the live stream of the UEFA Champions League draws where we've seen teams being drawn into the eight groups of the Champions League. And remember, it's really going to be non-stop, meaning that if at all your team is in Europe, it's going to be playing on the weekend and in the midweek. That's it. So Arsenal is in the UEFA Europa League. Their draw is going to be happening tomorrow. Obviously, I'll be live on this channel when that draw is being held to bring you where Manchester United and Arsenal are. And remember, I'm going to be streaming on two channels. I'm going to be streaming onto this channel, Rokani Media Football, because Arsenal fans really watch this channel a lot. And obviously, there is another channel known as United Matters channel. I'm going to be streaming that side because Man United is also into the UEFA Europa League. So we are going to be doing a double stream, and obviously, all what is going to be streaming is going to be the same. And obviously, we'll be here letting you know what we are all about in here onto the channel, which goes by the names of Rokani Media Football. Guys, smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to go into the lower right bottom corner and subscribe to this channel, guys. We are having close to 6,200 likes and we are left with 800 subscribers to hit 7,000 subscribers. I know in these remaining days everything is possible. Why is it possible? Because God, Lord, has made it happen. And if we manage to go from from the first subscriber to to how many subscribers? To 6,000 subscribers, meaning that the Lord has really made it, has given it a green light to happen. And obviously, you should go on and subscribe to this channel, guys. Now, today we are talking Youri Tielemans, we are talking Pedro Neto, we are talking Hector Bellerin, and we are talking Phil Foden on what he says about a man who goes by the names of Mikel Arteta. 4 stories, 6 different individuals we're talking about. So why not subscribe and don't miss out on any video that we're uploading here on a day. Remember, we started with a video of Aubameyang close to joining Chelsea, captain of Arsenal formerly returning to London. Arsenal fans are telling him, you are returning to the wrong side of London, obviously in the way, but obviously you can go and watch that story. I did it very long time ago, close to 4 or 5 hours ago. Let's get into this. Arsenal on Pedro Neto. We are being told that Arsenal are interested in Pedro Neto, but the two clubs are thought to be far apart in their valuations of the player, who is under contract at Molineux until 2027. This is reported by James Ollie, senior football writer at ESPN. That is the guy who has really brought us the story. Now, when you look at this story, Fabrizio Romano and David Austin told us that Arsenal want to pay £35 million for Pedro Neto, and Wolverhampton Wanderers is telling Arsenal that please, you have to come in and really give us £50 million. That's what we want. Close 60 million euros and £50 million. That's what they want. So Arsenal is telling them that, guys, who is Pedro Neto? Why are you selling him all that expensively? And Wolves is telling them, why is Arsenal interested in Pedro Neto? Meaning that the quality of the player is proven. So it looks like Pedro Neto wants to go to Arsenal. Arsenal wants to sign him, but the problem is in between the valuation of the two clubs. And Arsenal is really having this problem a lot because it looks like they don't want to spend more again. Reason being, I brought you a story of the financial fair play. It looks like Arsenal has been put on the watch list. They've not yet been fined by UEFA, but UEFA is putting a keen eyeball on Arsenal on how they are spending their money, because they are spending a lot of money. And obviously we know that this season the owner of Arsenal, Kroenke, gave them 200 million pounds. Obviously he borrowed Arsenal, he got from his money from his other businesses and injected it in Arsenal, and obviously UEFA is concerned on how Arsenal is splashing money like that. Remember, Arsenal bought in Zinchenko at 30 million pounds, Fabio Vieira at 35 million pounds. Then they brought in Gabriel Jesus at 45 million pounds, Matt Turner 7 million pounds, then Marquinhos at 3 million pounds. In total, Arsenal has spent close to 121 million pounds. So UEFA is putting a keen eye on Arsenal, and I think Arsenal has now really held their hand back on spending because it looked like someone was not really observing them. But after UEFA came out and said, all right, we are putting a keen eye on Arsenal, Arsenal really faced. Do you know that Arsenal has not yet signed a player ever since they brought in Zinchenko? They are even in the preseason. You remember that very well. I think it was around July, towards the end of July. That's when Arsenal signed Zinchenko. I remember Zinchenko's first game was against is it Orlando City, if I'm to remember very well. Then he played against Chelsea also. So it looks like around the 23rd of July, that's when Zinchenko was unveiled as an Arsenal player, and Arsenal has never gone to sign in another player. Reason being, there is UEFA keeping an eye on how they've been spending, and Arsenal don't want to fall victim of being suspended. Remember, if at all you breach that rule, obviously, you are banned for 1 or 2 years without spending a single penny on a player, meaning that you're going to rely on your academy, and the academy of Arsenal, is it ready to be relied on? So I think this is why Arsenal don't want to spend this money on Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto is a very good player, but 50 million pounds. Oh my God. 50 million pounds. And I think Wolverhampton Wanderers have really got to know that their players are really going to be highly wanted in the season, because even Ruben Neves, they value him at 70 million pounds. So I won't be surprised if Pedro Neto was at 50, because if Ruben Neves is at 70, means that people next to him should be around 60 or 50. But Fabrizio told us that Arsenal has the money. They have the money, and I think the reason that's why they're not splashing this money to bring in Pedro Neto is simple. They want not to go over what they're supposed to be spent. So their net spend is really known and it's fixed. So it looks like Arsenal are really looking for money to see to it that they really bring in these signings. But obviously, another big factor, he still has 5 years left on his contract. Remember, he's tied to a contract until 2027. That is Pedro Neto for you. And obviously, I really believe he's a player that Arsenal would need and would go in and really change a lot at Arsenal. But 5 years contract to buy it out. 22 years of age, left-footed, plays on all the wings. Good player, 22 years of age, 50 million pounds. When you look it on the other page, it's really realistic. Do you know why? Players are sold expensively. And a player who's tied to a 5-year contract, you can't expect to get him below 45, 50 million pounds. So it's a decision for Arsenal to make, whether they go in for him or not. 50 million pounds in for Pedro Neto. And people will say, why don't we go in for Moussa Diaby? Because he is at the same price. But Moussa Diaby, the problem is one, he's not Premier League proven. But with the days you are left with to close the window, you don't need to risk yourself to go in and bring in a player who is not Premier League proven, especially who is a forward. It will take him lots of time to get used to the Premier League. He won't fit in there like a glove. The Premier League is physical, different from the Bundesliga, and don't expect this guy to come in and fit in. You get? So I think Arsenal are looking in for signing of a Premier League type. That's it. Now, again, Rob Turner, he's the Leicester City correspondent for The Athletic. He has gone ahead and told us that Arsenal reportedly consider Youri Tielemans an expensive option, given he will be free next summer. So Arsenal are really taking all their time. The good thing is that all good and bad, it depends on how you want to really hinge yourself on. Arsenal have really started their season on a good note. I really believe that if at all they had started on a bad note, they would have gone in for these signings. They would have been desperate, but I think they are less desperate because they know they are doing well. Players want to go to their side. They are topping the Premier League table. They can win their next other 2 fixtures because they are playing Aston Villa and Fulham. Their hardest fixture is playing Manchester United, of which they can also go and force in a result at Old Trafford because they are good. So it's not so much in Arsenal's hurry to learn these signings, especially Youri Tielemans. 25 million pounds is what Arsenal is having. Leicester wants 35. And obviously, to me, I really believe that Leicester really are a selling club, and they know that they sell their players expensively. Now, a team that is used to sell its players expensively looks at this 25 million pounds as something little. But obviously, Arsenal and Tielemans are in a stronger position than Leicester. Leicester has to go in and admit and sell off this player. That's it. And the reason that's why Arsenal is taking its time is that the only team that wants him, though I read the story yesterday that Liverpool has started to really look at Tielemans as a quick fix in their midfield because he's cheap, and secondly, he is really a good midfielder. and can partner well with Fabinho, Naby Keita, and he can really play these 6 months for Liverpool until Alcantara comes back. But obviously, I think that is a story that might have been looked at by the agent of Tielemans to really speed up Arsenal, because Arsenal looks like they're in their own world. I don't believe that Arsenal doesn't have 30 million pounds for Tielemans. Arsenal has this money, but they just want to play some hardball for this deal to frustrate Leicester. But I don't believe Leicester is going to get frustrated. It looks like they're even ready to lose this player on a free. So Arsenal should really look at this. However much they say it's very expensive, but Yefis Bissouma, a same player who left Brighton and went to Spurs, they almost play the same positions. Though Bissouma is really more hardworking than Tielemans, but Tielemans has more ball work, and his technique on ball is really better than that of Yefis Bissouma. Went for 25 million pounds, and I think that's the blueprint that Arsenal used to really value Youri Tielemans this summer. What is going to happen? That's what you're waiting for here onto the Rokani Media Football. Let you know that ABC does happen. But let's wait and see. Crucial week for Arsenal because the window is closing onto the 1st of September. And obviously, Arsenal has a position that if at all that player goes out, if that piece gets out of the jigsaw, Arsenal might go back to the levels of really crying. That is Thomas Partey. That's why they needed a central midfielder. And I've heard they're looking in for, is it Tapsoba? So let's wait and see. To me, I really believe that even if you are Arsenal, getting in Tielemans at 35 million pounds is okay. Because you would have gotten him at 45 last summer. And at least you are making a saving of 10 million pounds. It depends on what the manager wants. Get Arteta what he wants. I don't want to hear Arteta giving excuses like last time. Arteta requested for a 22 fully fit man squad. Get him the players he wants and let him thrive to where he's going. Because I was in Salon yesterday when, my Baba is an Arsenal fan. I don't support Arsenal, I support Manchester United. But I was telling him that there is a possibility that Arsenal can win this league. How? I told him this is how Arsenal can win the league. 1, there is a break. I think we are getting a break of the Premier League. I think in the first week of I think the last week of September of October, after playing the last week of October after preparing the Premier League, they'll play the last game of the Champions League group stages, and obviously we go to a break, meaning that from 1st October up to 23rd December, no more Premier League games. Now, if Arsenal goes ahead to maintain its position or maintain itself in a range of winning the title, when we return on the 23rd to play the Premier League, Arsenal will be left with just 8 days to enter into the January transfer window, meaning that Arsenal would have already spotted players to come in and fit into its team. So they can sign in some players in January. After signing in players in January, obviously, you will ask me, where are they going to get these players? Do you know that the World Cup is in November up to December? And the World Cup always shows us talents that are cheap from South America, from Africa, from Asia. So you might find Mikel Arteta and Edu sporting some new talent, and some 2-3 arrivals who are cheap might really make it to Arsenal. So that means Arsenal will reinforce and get ready for the battle. And I don't believe that Man City, Liverpool are really going to be on the pace they were on last time, because they've lost players, especially Man City. Utility players, Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, Sterling. You are losing close to 50 goals in a season with involvements, with assists and goals combined. I really believe that something has not yet been analyzed very well, but I told my Baba that Arsenal, there is a minimal chance of Arsenal to win the Premier League this season. That's it. If at all they keep the foot on the pedal, they can go in and win it. So, Youri Tielemans to Arsenal, I really believe that Arsenal should deliver signings to Mikel Arteta because he wants these players, and they knew that he needed these players, and the budget is clear. Why don't they go in and sign these players for the manager who goes by names of Mikel Arteta? Now, let's talk about Hector Bellerin. Looks like he doesn't want to go to even Barcelona. He only wants Real Betis. A story has been reported to us by Estadio Deportivo. Bellerin Hector continues to reject offers to hold out for Betis. The player and his agents believe Arsenal will give them their wish of terminating his contract in the final 72 hours of the window. He is also willing to take salary cut to join Real Betis. So it looks like all what he wants is to go to Real Betis. He spent one full season there. I think he enjoyed it and he wants to go back home in Spain to play there. And Barcelona is another team that he has really rejected. Barcelona had interest in Hector Bellerin. Let us reject. Then Villarreal came in. He said no. Atletico Madrid came in. He said no. Juventus came in. He said no. Close to 5 teams have been chasing in for Hector Bellerin, but it looks like Hector Bellerin only wants a side which goes by names of Real Betis, and they want Arsenal to terminate the contract. Arsenal is saying, why do we terminate the contract? Yet they had made an offer of £4 million to us. Let them get us the £4 million and we'll let you go. That's it. So that's the problem. But in the next 72 hours, it looks like it's going to happen and get done. So 72 hours, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, meaning on Monday, Hector Bellerin believes this deal will get sorted. So that's an update for Hector Bellerin from Arsenal. He only wants Real Betis. Very many teams have come in for his signature. He has said, no, I'm going nowhere. I want only and only Arsenal. So let's wait and see where this deal is going to go on and happen. Now, I'm ending this story with this quote from Phil Foden, a player at Man City who had Mikel Arteta once as his coach. And this is what he had to say about Mikel Arteta. Unbelievable, I remember working with him closely after training on some things I needed to improve. I know how good he can be as a coach. He's definitely a great coach. It has been reported by Arsenal Harmony in here onto the Rokani Media Football. So I saw Mikel Arteta play for many years in Everton before he even crossed to go to Arsenal, signed by Arsene Wenger. And every time I saw Mikel Arteta play in Everton, he looked so good to be an Everton player. Every season, he looked like a top 4 player. But it took him lots of years to cross to Arsenal. He went to Arsenal, he played very well. And obviously, when he's coaching midfielders, you obviously know that he's going to give them the real gist that a midfielder deserves. You know that very well. He was a midfielder. He was an attacking midfielder who could play as, who could even play behind the number 9, because those days number 9s were really so much important in the game of football. And he was really brilliant. And when I hear a person like Foden hailing him, obviously he will give him everything at its full capacity, because he knows the situations in the Premier League. He knows what to do. He will teach him how to do the half turns, the dribbles, to be press resistant, how to improve your technical ability, your shooting, because he was really good shoot of the ball. Mikel Arteta, outside the 18 box area, he was really a good shoot of the ball. Secondly, he was good at taking free kicks. So he was really a very talented player. And we believe that if Foden says that, it's really exact. Even Gabriel Jesus came out and said the same things while he was really doing his maiden interview at Arsenal TV. He said, Mikel Arteta is really a very good guy. We used to go on and train more after the trainings to improve on my shooting, because he was a good shoot of the ball. He was a good shoot of the ball, and he was really a great player. So I really believe these players are not lying. They are telling us the truth about Mikel Arteta. For we who saw how he was really in his prime, especially at Everton, Mikel Arteta was really an amazing player. Everton captain. From Everton went to Arsenal. He became an Arsenal captain. He became a coach at Man City, and obviously he's now the manager of Arsenal, and he's doing wonders at Arsenal. Shame on you, Arsenal fans, who were really calling him out to be sacked last season after him being beaten by 3 teams in a row, and obviously turned the season around. So Phil Foden is telling you that you're having a fantastic manager, and he's really definitely a good coach. So your reactions to Pedro Neto and Youri Tielemans, priced out of the move to Arsenal. So Arsenal looks like they're trying to give up and looking for options, but obviously they want these players at Emirates, especially Mikel Arteta. Hector Bellerin wanting only and only Arsenal. Oh my God. Sorry, not Arsenal. He wants Real Betis. He wants a move away from Arsenal, and he wants Arsenal to terminate his contract. And Arsenal looks like we are not terminating your contract because we believe that we can get better things out of you. So that's what we had for you. May the Almighty God bless you abundantly. Smash the like button, comment, and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. I sign out for now. See you later. Subscribe to this channel, guys. Subscribe. We want to hit 7,000 subscribers in the remaining days. Obviously, it's possible. 7 days left. Let's try this out. And I think it's gonna work out, isn't it? Obviously. And smash the like button. Let's see if you have close to 1,000 likes. I'm out.